Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I hope you're well. By this time, you would have seen the 5 things I like about the 335d BMW Touring. Of course, we have to do a 5 things I dislike about the car, which, as you all know, I don't like doing. But let's move on and get started. So, point number 1 would be that the 335d in this current generation, and I think the new generation G21 as well, or just G20, only comes in xDrive. Now, some of you may think, well, actually, no, that's a really good point, because it makes many things better, like launching the car, being an all-rounder as such. So when it's winter, it's a lot more easier to live with, if that makes sense, and safer. But I feel that it takes away some of the engagement of driving, and also it makes this car over 50 kilos heavier than a 330d, which, hello, oh, that's very tight. Wait. Sorry guys, we've got a ginormous lorry that's pretty much taken up the whole road, so at least he's nice and said thank you. And now we've got a clown cyclist in the way. I have to make sure that no one flies across me. So yeah. Sorry, where was I? Point 1, yeah. So xDrive, it makes this car 50 kilos heavier than the 330d, which only comes in a rear-wheel drive. I think you can spec xDrive in it, but 99.9% of the cars in the 330d trim are rear-wheel drive only, and because I actually haven't driven a 330d, but from reading forums and hearing people that I know that own those cars, yeah, they really do like the driver engagement you get. It's got a lot more character, and even 330ds are pretty quick, and when they're mapped, they're pretty much these stock. So yeah, it kind of takes it away, and I kind of see that. I've got to turn the fan off because someone's having a bonfire. So yeah, I think that would move on from that point. But yeah, the xDrive, even though it's a really, really cool system. Like, it's really, really good. Stuff from Volkswagen with the Haldex system, it's really like front-wheel drive biased, so you kind of get push understeer all the time. But with this, it's quite neutral. And I have to also say that tyres, we've only just changed about 4,000 miles ago. This car's almost done 30,000 miles, so it's really done well for tyre wear as well. More so, it's done the fronts quicker than the backs, but generally getting 20,000+ miles out of your tyres is pretty good going. So let's move on to point 2, which doesn't really relate to the 335d as such, but it's something that a lot of people mention all the time, and that's, why didn't BMW make a M3 Touring? Now, of course, you may have seen recently there's been some videos of people that have actually made conversions from these cars into full-fledged M3s. So they've put the M3 engine in it with the DCT box and obviously all the styling, the front and back bumpers, etc. But you've got to imagine how much they would have spent. I wouldn't like to think how much they have. It would be a crazy figure. But yeah, it's just a shame. I don't know why BMW haven't done it, and they haven't actually done it for quite some time in estate versions. Apparently they just see that there is no need for it. But saying that, I don't think this would exist as such. So this gives you a really good compromise. It gives you the economy and still gives you shed loads of performance as well. But yeah, it's just a shame that they didn't make an M3 Touring. Point 3 would have to be depreciation. Now I know depreciation pretty much plagues any car, but as a common scheme of things, how to describe it, I'd say depreciation is based more on cars that are seen more commonly on the road, and obviously the likes of 3 Series are quite common. Now of course 335Ds are less common, but because of their price and not many being on the market, it sounds really weird that I've just kind of contradicted myself, but because the 320d, for example, was the most popular 3 Series that you would see on the roads, no matter what, it still hurts the depreciation of the car. And because I got a really good deal on this, I kind of got away from that front scale depreciation. So when you buy a new car, when you buy a new car and you drive off the forecourt, that's when it does its big chunk of depreciation. Whereas because of the deal I got, it kind of eased that up for me. But getting later on to the car's ownership, I've started to notice that I'm getting nowhere near the money that I need to sell to break even, because obviously this car is on finance. And at the moment it's not really a problem for me, because, well, for my missus anyway, because we want to keep this for a long time. We kind of see it as a workhorse, even though we keep it in very good condition, like all our cars. Yeah, it's something that's always in the back of your mind, I suppose. And I never buy a car to make money, but you just try and learn from your mistakes to try and lose as less money as possible, if that makes sense. So if you guys understand that, I'm sure you do, yeah, relate with me, please. Now, point 4, whilst making the video with Aaron, I actually said in the video that this is got M Sport suspension. Now, of course, I thought that because this is an M Sport trim level car, but it turns out that X-Drive cars didn't actually come with M Sport suspension like the 330 did or the 320 did, and that's because back to the point that it's an X-Drive car, which seems really, really weird. I imagine it's because of the weight. They couldn't use that suspension, or they weren't happy using it. Of course, you can get lowering springs by Airbag or AC Schnitzer, which will be coming. But yeah, I feel that when you're going into corners, it's very, very boat-like. The car kind of swishes a lot left to the right. Of course, I should actually dumb it down and say, yeah, it's got a lot of body roll. But it's very evident when we was testing both cars. Of course, I didn't drive the S4, but the S4 just felt more planted, even from the passenger seat. Aaron could carry a lot more speed, because obviously we did the same route in both cars, and yeah, the car just felt more engaging and you had more confidence pushing it through corners, whereas this, you're kind of on the limit, and I'm in an R in whether to actually push it even more. So yeah, that's a little bit of a disappointment, but it's an easy fix by going for an aftermarket solution. In terms of that, if any of you guys that own these cars and have recommendations over Airbag, I heard that actually AC Schnitzer springs are the same as Airbag's, but AC Schnitzer did some more development on them and played around with the spring rates. So yeah, if you guys could recommend in the comments, that'd be great. And then the 5th and final thing I dislike, which probably everyone dislikes, is start-stop. Now, I've actually got this little tool here, if I can find it. Aha. Yeah, so I've got this little tool called Carly, and if you didn't know already, if you're not a follower, I've actually teamed up with Carly and offering you guys a big discount to get one of these for your very own car. Now, not only does this give you the capability to I'll put it down now because I'm driving. Not only does Carly give you the opportunity to code your car in terms of coding out start-stop, you can also use it as a general diagnostic tool, or to use it for resetting service codes or doing your EGR cleaning, whatever it's called. DPF, that's the one. Yeah, it's a very handy tool, and of course it's half the size of my hand, so it's pretty portable. So yeah, I'll leave in the description where you can buy Carly. Of course, when you buy a Carly tool, I get a percentage back from it, and it helps me put it back into the channel. So of course I appreciate people supporting. And I think I have to say, those are the 5 things I dislike, Jesus, about the 335d F30 Touring. As I said, yeah, it's pretty hard to not think of things, because that's just stupid thinking of things. I've lived with the car for 2 years, so I know all its traits. And as I said, every car has a trait. You can't just jump in a car and go, no, this car is flawless, it has no niggles that I don't like, because every car does. But as an all-rounder and as value for money goes, this is, I think, hands down the best car in its class to buy. And I look forward to getting my hands on a G20 or even a G21, even to compare against this, to see what's different about it. Of course, they've obviously completely updated the styling and obviously the interior with lots more technology. But yeah, just something about this I still like and prefer. Maybe that's just me being biased. But anyway, that's enough of me talking. I hope you guys have enjoyed these last 2 videos. If you like the video, please do leave a like rating, and of course subscribe for more content to come. And if you related to any of those 5 points I've brought up, please do leave your suggestions and feedback in the comments below, and I'll get back to you and share my thoughts on them. But until then, take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys very soon. All the best. Have a good day. Goodbye.